On the morning of December 30th, 2025, Todd County, Kentucky, woke to what seemed like an ordinary day. The sun crept over the horizon, casting a golden glow across quiet fields and sleepy homes. For most residents, it was just another peaceful start in a place where life moves at a gentle pace. And the biggest concern is often the weather or the day's chores. But that calm was shattered in an instant until disaster struck at 7 a.m., sending shockwaves through the community. The familiar rumble of a freight train, a sound locals barely noticed, suddenly turned into chaos. In a matter of seconds, the train violently derailed, its cars careening off the tracks and crashing into the open countryside. The rural calm was shattered by screeching metal and the thunderous impact, leaving a trail of twisted steel and debris across the fields. Emergency sirens pierced the morning air, replacing the usual quiet with a sense of urgency and alarm. The blaring horns and flashing lights signaled a major incident, one that involved hazardous materials and posed a potential threat to everyone nearby. Within minutes, emergency protocols were activated. Local fire departments rushed to the scene, joined by state officials and environmental agencies. Hazmat teams suited up, ready to confront whatever dangers the wreckage might hold. The response was swift, coordinated, and determined. Every second counted as they worked to secure the area and assess the risks. Governor Andy Beshear quickly addressed the public, confirming the derailment and urging residents to stay calm and follow all safety instructions. His message was clear: the situation was serious, but help was on the way, and every effort was being made to protect the community. For those living near Trenton, the sight of emergency vehicles racing past and the news of a chemical leak brought a wave of anxiety. Families gathered outside, watching the commotion with worried faces. Questions spread quickly. What exactly had spilled? Was the air safe to breathe? Should they evacuate or stay indoors? The uncertainty was as thick as the morning fog. Emergency crews wasted no time. They moved methodically through the wreckage, assessing the scene and working to contain the chemical threat. Hazmat teams set up barriers, firefighters checked for fires or leaks, and environmental experts monitored the air and soil for contamination. Their goal was clear: protect the people, the land, and the water that the community depends on. Thanks to their swift and coordinated response, no injuries were reported. Despite the dramatic images of twisted metal and scattered debris, the community was spared from physical harm. The teamwork and training of first responders made all the difference in those critical first hours. This incident serves as a stark reminder of the risks that come with industrial transport, how quickly routine can turn to crisis. But it also highlights the strength and preparedness of our emergency systems and the dedication of those who stand ready to protect us when disaster strikes. A quiet morning was shattered in Todd County, but thanks to the quick action of emergency crews and the resilience of the community, a potential tragedy was averted. As the sun rose higher, hope and relief began to return, reminding everyone of the strength found in coming together during a crisis. The derailment unfolded in rural Todd County, a quiet corner of Kentucky where the rhythm of daily life is usually set by the changing seasons and the hum of tractors, not the screech of metal and chaos of disaster. This is a place more accustomed to the gentle pace of farm life than the sudden shock of an industrial emergency. The landscape here is dotted with barns, silos, and fields stretching to the horizon, a community where neighbors know each other by name, and the biggest concerns are usually the weather or the harvest. But on this day, over 30 freight cars left the tracks, creating a tangled mess of steel and cargo that cut through the calm. The force of the derailment sent shockwaves through the community as twisted metal and toppled cars sprawled across the landscape, disrupting everything in their path. The situation escalated quickly when it was discovered that the train was carrying hazardous materials. What began as a transportation accident instantly became a high-stakes emergency, with the potential for widespread harm. Fortunately, no homes were struck by the derailed cars, sparing families from direct impact. However, a breached tanker was leaking molten sulfur, a dangerous chemical that poses serious risks to both people and the environment. The sight of yellow liquid seeping from the wreckage was a stark reminder of the hazards now facing Todd County. First responders wasted no time. They quickly established a secure perimeter around the site and began assessing the extent of the spill. The incident had now become a full-scale hazmat situation, requiring specialized skills and equipment to manage the threat. Specialized hazmat teams were called in, and the Kentucky Division of Emergency Management was activated to coordinate the growing response. Their expertise would be crucial in containing the spill and protecting the community. Environmental protection crews soon arrived, equipped with monitoring devices and protective gear. Their mission: to track the spread of hazardous materials, collect soil and water samples, and ensure that the threat to people, livestock, and the land was kept in check. The rural location meant that, while homes were spared, the surrounding fields and delicate ecosystems were now at risk. The derailment threatened not just crops, but also the streams, wildlife, and livelihoods that depend on this land. The leaking molten sulfur became the focus of a complex emergency operation. Responders worked urgently to contain the chemical, prevent it from seeping into the soil and waterways, and minimize long-term damage. As night fell, the story was just beginning. Emergency vehicles with flashing lights illuminated the scene, and responders raced against time to contain the danger before it could spread further. The scale of the derailment demanded a massive, coordinated cleanup effort. Heavy machinery rumbled into action, and teams in safety gear worked tirelessly to remove debris, neutralize hazards, and begin the long process of restoring safety to Todd County. The leaking cargo was molten sulfur, a yellow element, solid at room temperature, but transported as a hot liquid. Heated above 239 degrees DM, molten sulfur is easier to handle and is vital for making sulfuric acid, fertilizers, detergents, and more. Transported in insulated tanker cars, molten sulfur is common but risky. These tankers are built to withstand rail travel, but no system is foolproof. A breach means not just a hot liquid spill, but a potential release of dangerous gases. Emergency teams needed special protocols and protective gear to approach the site. Understanding molten sulfur's properties shaped the entire response. The cargo's hazards defined the challenge for responders. Safety depended on knowledge, caution, and the right equipment. Molten sulfur's immediate threat is its extreme heat. Contact causes severe burns. The hot liquid can also ignite nearby flammable materials, raising fire risks. But the greater danger is chemical. If disturbed, molten sulfur can release toxic gases. Sulfur dioxide irritates lungs and can be harmful in high concentrations. Hydrogen sulfide, with its rotten egg smell, is even more dangerous, potentially deadly at high levels. Air quality monitoring was critical, as shifting winds could carry gases toward homes. Responders established a safe zone and used sensors to track gas levels. Decisions about evacuation or shelter in place relied on this real-time data. The invisible threat of toxic gas was as serious as the visible spill. Local fire and law enforcement were first on scene, securing the area and relaying vital information. Recognizing the hazardous leak, they set up a perimeter and kept the public at a safe distance. State agencies, including the Kentucky Division of Emergency Management and Environmental Protection Cabinet, quickly joined the effort. Hazmat teams in protective gear assessed the leak and planned containment. A command post coordinated actions among agencies and the railway company, CSX. Governor Beshear provided public updates, reassuring residents that all resources were being deployed. Clear communication and teamwork were key to managing the crisis. The response was swift, methodical, and focused on safety. In the early hours following the incident, local officials acted swiftly to protect the public from the threat of toxic gases. They issued a shelter-in-place order for everyone within a half-mile radius of the site, which included the heart of Trenton and its surrounding neighborhoods. This immediate response was designed to minimize exposure to potentially dangerous chemicals released by the derailment. Residents received clear instructions: stay inside their homes, tightly seal all windows and doors, and turn off any HVAC systems or fans that might draw outside air indoors. For many families, this meant quickly gathering loved ones, pets, and essential supplies, and preparing to remain indoors for an unknown period. The shelter-in-place order was a precautionary measure, based on the risk of airborne sulfur dioxide and hydrogen sulfide, both hazardous gases that can cause serious health problems if inhaled, even at low concentrations. Emergency alerts were sent out rapidly, using every available channel, smartphones, local news broadcasts, and even sirens in some areas, to ensure that everyone in the affected zone got the message as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, specialized response teams moved in with advanced air quality sensors and portable gas detectors. These experts worked around the clock, monitoring the air in real time to track any changes and identify potential threats. The data they collected was carefully analyzed and shared with emergency officials. Fortunately, the results showed that the air remained safe throughout the morning, with no significant levels of toxic gases detected in residential areas. By 11 a.m., after several hours of careful monitoring and coordination, the shelter-in-place order was lifted. Residents could finally step outside, relieved that the immediate danger had passed and grateful for the quick response. The rapid, science-based response, combined with clear communication and community cooperation, played a crucial role in keeping everyone safe during a tense and uncertain time. While the cleanup process would continue for days, and the sight of emergency crews remained a reminder of the incident, the worst-case scenario was avoided thanks to decisive action. In the end, it was a combination of cautious action, scientific expertise, and clear, timely communication that made all the difference for the people of Trenton. Remarkably, no injuries were reported, thanks to quick action and a bit of luck. The main health risks, burns and toxic gas, were contained by secure perimeters and timely shelter orders. Environmental teams focused on the risk to soil, water, and air. Once cooled, sulfur is relatively inert, but the threat of sulfur dioxide and groundwater contamination remained. Soil and water samples were taken to monitor for any pollution. Air quality data confirmed no widespread release of dangerous gases. The spill was contained before it could escalate into a larger environmental crisis. Cleanup will be extensive, with CSX responsible for restoring the site under strict oversight. Early findings suggest a major disaster was averted, but monitoring will continue. With the emergency contained, investigators turn to the cause. The National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, leads the probe, examining track conditions, train equipment, and the event recorder. Investigators analyze data on speed, brakes, and crew actions to reconstruct the accident. The process is thorough and can take months, but its goal is prevention, not blame. The NTSB's final report will recommend safety improvements for the industry. Learning from this incident is key to making rail transport safer. The Todd County derailment is a stark reminder of the risks in our rail system. Every day, hazardous materials move through communities, making safety and vigilance essential. Yet this incident also shows the power of preparation and coordinated response. Quick action, scientific monitoring, and clear communication prevented injuries and environmental harm. The investigation's findings will drive future safety improvements, from better inspections to updated protocols. Every accident is a chance to strengthen the system. Todd County's story is one of crisis managed and a community protected. It's a lesson in preparedness, collaboration, and resilience.